Okay, so here Eve is saying to the serpent, look, let's read it. Genesis 3 and 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, and remember this serpent was a man. I'll prove that. All right. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. All right. So basically she's saying, look, we can eat of our tree, meaning, all right, the law, statute, commandments that the Heavenly Father gave us. All right, and the fruit, all right, because the other nations, all right, all these different other nations in the garden are represented as trees, all right, but the chosen tree is who? It's us, the Adamites, all right. So she's saying, listen, we can eat of our tree because the fruit that comes from our tree, and the fruits represent what? The philosophies, all right. So she's saying, all right, to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit, the philosophies, the laws, statute, commandments that the Elohim gave them, all right, of the trees of the garden. So basically she's saying, look, to the serpent, I can eat, but I can only eat from this tree, all right, the tree, I can only eat the fruit from this tree because this fruit, which is the law, statute, commandments, which was oral back then, the Elohim, all right, gave, all right, Adam and Eve and the Adamites, all right, the law, statute, commandments, all right. So when it says fruit, that is talking about philosophies. So our philosophy, all right, the Adamites ones, is the philosophy and the law, statute, commandments that the Heavenly Father gave them. That's okay, all right, that's beautiful, because that's righteousness, because that's all they knew back then was righteousness, because the Elohim gave them that fruit, which is the law, statute, commandments. But let's read on, verse 3, all right. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, meaning, all right, the trees, the trees represent what? The other nations, and the other nations have fruit that grows on those trees. And what is those fruits? Remember, the fruit is the philosophies, all right, the philosophies of the other nations. Okay, for example, what is the white man's philosophy today? Democracy, all right, equality, which is all lies and bullshit, all right. That's his philosophy. Democracy, what's it called, being an American. And sadly, a lot of our people today, even in 2024, all right, have brought in and embraced the Edomites, so-called white people's philosophies about being a Democrat, a Republican, all right, voting for Donald Trump and saying, I support him, I believe in democracy. Where's all that in the Bible? That is the Edomites' philosophy. That's their fruit, all right? The Edomites are a tree because they're another nation, all right? So here, all right, she's saying, but of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the other nations are the trees, all right, and their fruits are their philosophies, all right. The Elohim powers have said, ye shall not eat of it. So don't eat the fruit, which is the philosophies of the other nations, because right now that's the problem with our people. That's why when you go to a job, if you look at the Nation of Islam, for example, they've all got suit and ties, little dicky bow. Who dresses like that? The white man does. All right, that's his philosophies. That's his way of life. All right, that's not in the Bible. Okay, so basically he's saying, look, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, all right, the other nations, all right, and their philosophies, the powers have said, ye shall not eat of it. So don't touch it. Don't embrace the other nations. Don't start making covenants with them. Don't start embracing the way they live and their philosophies. All right. Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. All right. So if you engage in the philosophies of the other nations, all right, you're gonna die. Okay. But what did the serpent say? All right. Genesis 3 and 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, so this is the serpent, which is a man, and it's a man of color, because everyone had melanin back then. All right. The serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Hang on, is that not a contradiction? All right. Did we not read? All right. That she, look, it says, look, in the previous verse, all right, the Elohim, the powers have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So the serpent's lying. Okay. All right. So the serpent said, and the serpent said unto the woman, Eve, ye shall not surely die. That's a lie. See, that's why that's why it's the best way that the Heavenly Father is describing this man as a serpent, because what? He's lying. Okay. And the serpent said unto women, ye shall not surely die. Verse 5. All right. For the powers, the Elohim, doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, all right, if you eat or embrace the philosophy of the other nations, their fruits, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, in a way, that's true, because to have a, for a ruler, a judge, to be righteous, you have to know good and evil. All right. You do have to know good and evil, and that's what we're going through right now. We're seeing how wicked this society is, and the more we see how wicked this society is, we're like, listen, we need the kingdom, because the kingdom is going to be totally righteous. All right. Well, we've looked at our mistakes, and now we're repenting, and we're saying to the philosophies that we've grown up in, when the Lord brought us in His truth, we're rejecting it. All right. And we're going back to the stronghold, which is the law, statute, commandments, which is the righteous philosophy. Okay. But the serpent is saying to the woman, oh, you're not going to die if you partake of the fruit, the other philosophies of the other nations. All right. For the powers doth know that in that day ye eat thereof, then your eyes will be opened. All right. And what open means what? You'll be corrupted. All right. You'll be corrupted. Yeah, you will know both sides, but it will corrupt you. Okay? And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. You see? So the serpent now is lying, because the serpent said in the previous, you shall not surely die. Okay? Alright? Now, let's look up the word serpent here. Alright? Okay? Let's see now. Okay, serpent, like we showed in that clip.
Strong's H 5175.
Nachash. All right, and it will say what? Serpent, snake, serpent, image of a serpent, fleeing serpent, mythological. But if you go into the root word, all right, it goes more in depth. And look what it says. All right. To practice divination, divine, observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling. See, this is all spirit. This is all left hand spirituality, wickedness. Take as an omen. All right. To practice divination. And what is divination? Divination is the knowledge of fortune telling. All right. Trying to understand. Trying to see in the future via supernatural means. All right. To observe the signs or omens. All right. To practice divination. Okay. Now, can a snake, all right, can a snake, an actual serpent that slithers around, talk? No, it can't. Can a snake practice divination? Look up the word divination. All right. Divination. Search on Google. There you go. Divination. All right. The practice of seeking knowledge of future or unknown by supernatural means. All right. Look, similar to fortune telling, forecasting the future. All right. looking at tea leaves and crystal balls. See, look at the pictures here. All right, let's look at images. Divination. Look at the pictures. See? Pentagrams, tarot cards. Can a snake do all this? Divination. All right. How's it going to do this? How can an actual serpent, all right, light candles, and make pentagrams and do divination? See? This is all witchcraft. Left-hand side bullshit. So clearly, it wasn't a actual serpent. It was a man that had the spirit of a serpent. All right. Now let's look up the word serpent, and this will surprise you, because when I looked up, it surprised me. Oops, serpent. All right, serpent. All right. See the serpent, right? Let's look up the definition of serpent. It says a large snake. Okay. And then the second entry, it says, look, a sly or treacherous person. See? That's showing you that the serpent in the Garden of Eden was a man. It was a person. All right? Especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it. You see? And that's exactly what the serpent did with Eve. Okay? See? A treacherous person. Let's look up the word treacherous. Let's get more edification. Let's get more meat on that bone, baby. All right, treacherous. All right, treacherous. Guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. You see, deception. All right, deceiver. That's beautiful. All right. So, so a serpent, all right, is doing divinations and all these things. Okay. That's clear. It clearly can't be an actual snake. All right. It was a man that had the characteristics of a snake. He was treacherous, sly, cunning. All right, and deceive and is talking to Eve, so he can basically betray her or get her to go off and betray the Elohim, who gave. And ultimately Yahweh, who gave the law, statute, commandments to the Elohim, all right, Yahweh signed the angels, and they gave it to Adam and Eve and the Adamites, okay, all right. So you can see clearly, all right, and is quite clear that this is not talking about an actual serpent, all right. Animals, men. A man was made to have dominion, to dominate over other creatures. All right. So why would a woman, a man, who's supposed to have dominion over the creatures, listen to a slippery servant, a slippery snake that can talk? Doesn't make sense, because it was a man. Okay, it was a man. All right. Okay. Now we know that, Eve partook of that fruit, all right, which is to start making covenants and with the other nations and what's the word, embracing their philosophies, okay, all right. Let's go down here, all right, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, the different philosophies, and it was pleasant to her eyes, all right, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof. So she started dabbling in the different philosophies of the other nations, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So she got the ball rolling and listened to this serpent. All right, and then she encouraged, Adam to do the same. Okay, all right, verse 7. All right, and the eyes of both of them were opened. See, they were open to what? Wickedness. Because before that, they only had the law, statute, commandments in an oral form. So they only knew what righteousness is. Now they're embracing the other nations' philosophies, and they're looking and embracing wickedness. All right, so the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked. You know, naked, man. All right. And when it means naked, it's like when you don't keep the Heavenly Father's law, statute, commandments, we're naked. We haven't got our garments on because the law, statute, commandments is a protection. Okay. All right. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. See, they're trying to hide their shame. But remember, if you look at even the nation of Israel, all throughout history, and we get a precept on that, all right? All throughout history, our problem has been that we have embraced, all right, the philosophies of the other nations. Israelites are in West Africa. Huge amount of numbers, not just West Africa, but other parts of Africa. But let's concentrate on the western part, all right? What is the number one alternative belief system that our people, Israelites, not Hamites, because there are Hamites obviously in Africa. We're talking about Israelites. Other than Christianity and Islam, what is the other belief system they love to indulge in? Voodoo, all right? Or in Sierra Leone, we call it juju. Now, where did that come from? That was an African tradition. People that are from the nation of Ham. Remember, we are Shemites. We're Israelites. We're from Shem. But Noah's son had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. We're Shemites, all right? The people that are indigenous to the continent of Africa are from Noah's son Ham. They're Hamites. And one of their belief systems is voodoo. And now, because we, you know, from 70 AD, and even before that, a lot of our people migrated to West Africa and stayed there. Now, a lot of Israelites have embraced that bullshit voodoo. And they're doing it hard. Look at the people in Haiti, who are the tribe of Levi. Okay, that's been our problem. All right, get a precept on that. So Psalms 106. All right, and 34. Psalms 106 and 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. All right, verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. There you go, man. All right. So Israelites have been mingled among heathens and have learned their works, i.e. their philosophies. They've eaten the fruit of the other nations. And that's what happened with Eve, all right, in the garden. And she gave that, you know, she embraced the philosophies of the other nations, okay? And then she got, what's his name, Salakia, Adam, to do the same, okay? So a snake can't talk, and a snake cannot do divination or anything like that. So it's clearly that it was a man that had the characteristics of a snake, because a snake is cunning, sly. Okay. Now that same spirit that was in that serpent is in the Edomites today, so-called white man, woman, and child. All right. Okay. The serpent in the Garden of Eden was a man of color, but we know that reincarnation is in the Bible. That same spirit that was in that serpent, all right, was in Cain, and then it was in Esau, and Esau is who? The father, the progenitor of the Edomites, and it's in these Edomites today. All right, all right, and let's prove it with a couple of precepts. All right, Psalms 58. All right, verse 3. Psalms 58 and 3. See, and what is the Edomites in the Bible? They're called the wicked. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, so this is Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. There you go. Now, did not the serpent lie to Eve? He did. So the same spirit that was in that serpent, all right, is in the Edomites today. All right. As I said, it went to Cain, it went to Esau, and Esau had children. He brought forth a nation, and they're doing the same thing. Remember, when we fell as a people and slavery started, all right, the main prophecy for that is where? One of the scriptures we can get is Psalms 83. All right. And it said what? Psalms 83. Let's start from verse 1. All right. Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not a silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. All right. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All right. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. But the main point is crafty counsel. Crafty is not a serpent. Crafty. They're cunning, they're crafty. So this man in the Garden of Eden, all right, all right, he had a serpent-like characteristic. That's how he was able to lie and deceive Eve. Okay, so clearly that you can see that the same spirit is in them. All right, Job 9:24. Okay, again, and what is the themes when I'm bringing out these precepts? Deception, deception, sly, cunning. All right, Job 9:24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the judges? Israelites. It says the saints shall judge the world. If not, where and who is he? See, so it's plain. All right, because how did they create crafty counsel? How did they cover the faces of the judges? All right, let's look at an example. All right, they did something called what? Whitewashing. Whitewashing. Black art. All right, they whitewashed everything, man. Okay, all right, they whitewashed everything. Let's look at Mozart, and put Mozart black. Okay, Mozart is a so-called black man. All right, but what did they do? You know, when they came back into power, all right, they covered the faces of the judges, which is us Israelites. All right, so this is an example. That's the truth. But what did they do? They covered the faces and they whitewashed it. See, and this is what? Crafty. This is deception, lies. Okay, you see. So that spirit in the serpent is in them today. All right, and you have to understand. And we're going to go to, let's see now, let's go to Revelation. So, we've all heard the term. All these Israelite groups say the white man is the devil. All right, that is true, but how do we prove it? How do we prove it in the scriptures? You know, you can't just say something and not prove it. Well, we'll prove it right now. Okay, go to Revelations 20, because now we're going to concentrate on the devil and Satan. All right. All right. And look where the top says Satan bound. All right. Now this is a prophecy of us Israelites ruling the Middle Ages. That's how they were able to do this when they came back into power. All right. To whitewash everything. You know. See. So Beethoven black. Mozart's black, and the worst one they did is Yahushua. Okay, that's the absolute worst one. Okay, King James. Let's look, King James, black, and all of this is hurting them, man. See, that's the real King James, being a so-called black man. But what have they done? They've made out like this is King James, and look how arrogant these motherfuckers are. All right, look at this. They've seen all these pictures, and on Quora Digest, are there any credible sources that believe that King James of the King James Bible was a black man? Question mark. And they've seen all these pictures online. You know the reason why they say that, because they think in their heads that they are really a top people. They believe that they're gods, more or less. They think that all the greats in history is them, and even when you prove it and they see these pictures, they still, is there any credible evidence? You know the reason why. The reason why they're like that, because number one, they have that spirit, that is the same spirit that is in the serpent. They cannot tell the truth. They're crafty, they're sly, they're cunning. All right, they're liars, they're slanderers. Okay. Now, let's go. Cause we need to know about the devil and Satan. All right. So you say the white man's the devil? Oh yeah, you can scream that all day long, but you have to prove it in the scriptures, man. All right, you have to bring out to prove it. All right. So this is Revelations 20 verse 1. All right. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit, and the bottomless pit is Europe. Why? Because it doesn't have many natural resources. All right. You can dig as much as you like. Deep down in any part of Europe, there's not many resources. All right. Like, for example, modern day Russia today has gas and oil. But many of the other European countries like England, France, Germany don't have natural resources. That's the reason why the white man has to go around the world and steal other people's resources. All right. I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key to the bottomless pit. And a key represents, if you have a key, you can either lock someone up, or you can open a door, or you can close it. All right. A key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And what does a chain represent? Slavery, man. To be in bondage. All right. For example, okay, let's look at our slavery. All right. Slavery, chains. Did our ancestors not have chains and shackles? They did. Okay. All right. See, chains, man. Okay. So this is talking about when it says chains, it's talking about, yeah, a chain to put someone, a group of people in bondage. All right. Verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon. All right. And who's the dragon? All right. The Roman Empire, man. The Roman Empire, which is more or less on the earth today, reincarnated as America. Remember, Rome had a Senate, and Rome had a two-party system, plebeians and patricians. Today in America, you have Democrats and Republicans. All right, you have a Senate in America as well. All right, and Rome, in particular, the Roman Empire, promoted homosexuality, lesbianism, and today America's doing the same, if not worse than Rome. All right, so he laid our hold on the dragon. Here's the point now, and it says that old serpent. See, why does it say that old serpent? Because the Heavenly Father is telling you that the same spirit that was in that man in the Garden of Eden, all right, is in them. All right, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. See, so the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. 1,000 years. All right. Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up. And if you look at that period, the Roman Empire, for example, you had this new, let's see, the Gladiator, right? The new film, Gladiator 2, all right? And I've done a video on it, but the Gladiator 2 film is the period, and it's fictional. It's got some fact and fiction in there, but in that period of time, who was ruling? Who were the Roman emperors in that time? In Gladiator 2, Caracalla and Geta, brothers, are sharing the empire. Here you go, Caracalla and Geta. All right, Caracalla and Geta was Septimius Severus' sons, and Septimius Severus was who? An Israelite man, huh? Okay. So the Roman Empire, all right, in this period of time, and we're talking about what, Septimius Severus ruled from 193 AD to 211 AD. He died in York, and he had two sons, Caracalla and Geta, and he told them both to share the empire. All right, look after the soldiers and screw everyone else. See the two brothers there that you see in this gladiator. Let me see now. Let's see if we can see it. All right. Let's see. Oh, this one. And that's why everyone's getting mad. Oh, Denzel, a black man. Yeah, but in this period of, there you go. Caracalla and Geta. That's supposed to be Caracalla, and that's Geta. But they were Septimius Severus' sons. Septimius Severus was a jet black Israelite from Libya. All right. So in that period of time, the last white Roman emperor was Domitian. All right. After him, all the Roman emperors after that were all Israelites, other than a couple. And the other ones, like Macrinus, he only had. Macrinus is the guy that Denzel Washington is playing. All right. Macrinus was involved in killing what's his name, Caracalla. All right. And he took over the empire for a short period of time. He was a black man, but he was an Ishmaelite. He was a Berber. Okay. So in this period of time, this is how Israelites started to be in Europe and be in power. And this started, all right, us having rulers in the Roman Empire at the top, all right. And really, when you go to Constantine, 325 AD, he allowed Christianity.